Now we are talking about the prestation. Very difficult subject. Oh yeah, I think it's Ananda asked to the Buddha what the benefit of the such an act might be. The Buddha replied, and we stopped there because it's like someone's to make the stupa, and then some relics of the Buddha's hair and cloth put in the stupa, and then they are prostrating to the stupa. And then is Gangavo and Anandas ask which kind of such actions. I don't know, it's before this kind of the system of in the Hindu's perspective, do they have prostration or not? I'm not sure. But it's coding in these quotations. Maybe it's like kind of the started to start to prostration is maybe looks like at that moment is like existence. Before, I'm not sure. When we look the historically in the Buddhas, like some created like this, maybe they do like this. But how do you say it? Before, we don't know. And also these longer prostrations. And this one is also looks like created, or some in Tibet, particularly the Vajrayana's perspective. But I didn't research it. Maybe you need to research. When is start? Who is like kind of? But this, quoting these quotations, I would to say, because it's seemingly Anandas didn't see before. And therefore, Anandas asked to Buddha, and to look, and there are such actions, someone's prostrating to the stupa. And what kind of the virtue actions? Then Buddha's replied, they're saying. And he replied that, and a single prostration in the so powerful that if, as a result, one area to become a universal impermanent many times as the number of the grain of the dust beneath one's the body down to the lower depth of the earth, the benefit of that act would still not be exhausted. And if one is a single, these prestations, such positive actions, and this there is the, and one single prestations, the benefit result is how many lifetimes to reborn again and again. The Dharma kings. When we talking about Dharma king, it is like kind of the doer of the virtue, kindness, compassion. And even is like reborn again, the number of the dust and underneath of these prostrations persons, but still is not exhausted. And in the sutra it says, this one we already read, I think. And in the sutra says, we already read this one. unfathomable crown, protuberance on the Buddha's head. That's true. We read it already. Comes from the having in the respectfully and prostrations before his rituals in order to be enlightened. And the protuberance. Can you repeat? Full and tuberance. That maybe is to break down this word. Full tuberance. Okay, nice. Protuberance. Protuberance. And like this, if you is like candle now, prostration is incorrect. But when you be enlightenment, is your protuberance coming here and here is no, it's nice Buddha. And also it's like tatu dzopsongji. This is in Tibet I say it like this. Prostration will finally lead us to obtain the unfathomable fishisha. Fishisha looks like Chinese language. Really, fishisha. Shanisha. You know, this is also, it's Sanskrit or English? That's right. Unishta. I think it's Ushnisha. Ushnisha. Oh, Matthew's really. That means it's correct, yes? Really, sometimes Buddha, you know. Buddhas is like a Buddha and Bodhisattvas and this Chokyi Avalokiteshvara and ask to Buddhas to do. Onisha. Onishnisha. Yeah, can say. Crook. Yeah, Ushnisha. Okay, anyway, you understand that. And this is the crown that the head of the perfect Buddhas. Now is the second, Chopa. Nipan Chopa per Yanlama. Musorong Junjurun Chopa. Nga Mender to Heper, the Mutsonhin. Number Tapa. Sehni Machinchin. Tsunchu to Wamchus Masonwa, Shambate, Mite Zamshites. Cherezo Ronki, Chonchi, Tito Tanala, Gundach, Kusun to Tenji, Yenchi, Manchugler. Sonji Chikochon Chendacho. Tijatan and Chotan Chonchoncho. Tijatana, Cherezo Sonrap Katanchi, Jona, de la Go Son 2 said the Tossan Kati Yenchi Manchinchopan Yoke. Tati Masotanalan Chopa Namdan Tiesham. Yomana Chunchu, Yomana Cherezo the Agam Patonk. Chunchu Shamne. That teacher is the Unjurk, Ronk, Unjurk, Unjurk in Chopatella. The Jachimbo, the Jachimbo said the Rumbo Rama Nasoko Chopa Pesser. Jigumba Gunjan don't shoot, said another. Been chon to John Hachimbo, Rungun, and Turmati Karam, Choyon Jatamba, Shassel Jatamba, Meto Jatamba, Dupu Jatamba, Manme Jatamba, Tandri, so the Chokoras or the Tonchus, Janchus, and Percho. The Tena Mena Ronk Namjan, Chered Chopa Chonchon, Chit. Lache Mena go Ronk in Jurchut on Zangle, Jurvin Chopa, says Mus Ronk Chun Jorvin Chopa. Chered Mandrak Namsik capsula, Chopateri. The capsula unjur siji, tin mila unjur kun chopa to yetrur kun chopa si, yin Then chere jati chi njorwa yomo kun unjur kun chopa par. Lama la jodo si chopa par. Tani chere jodo traba tanala. Tani teme na chere jodo sonji ku kusong tuten la. Ta rong chere jodo chunjo kun chopa. Tani par na sonji tu shonche semba te do tamche. Chere jodo munga ina yupa tsoma la. Te chere jodo ti yin tab nutub te yole. Che nambi yin ru chi semchen tamche ku druyong che. Ni druyong che te se de tanala. Te chere jodo chopa ngus par yos. Te do tsoma long son sambi tani yole. तो रोंग की चुनजोर छोपा तार कौन द मैंडर जो तुझे पता द मु जों ही से मु पो जेरे जो द जे छोगन छोपा तने चीज नाम दोया नामगा नाम दम जिन द तनो देदो सोमा मु पो यम्बाला जों ही नंबर तापा जिन छोपा पर दु तनाला samsala choyना सेना दा रिलीजन सेना दा तो माची ना सेना तने तामन्यास सेनी माची ही यो चुनचुरे nin chopa te ni ji gri sona nga ji chupa jire ang ji yomo ji se ayona sang chun chu do ngam chu se chun chu do ngom chu ri ma so wa xiang ba te mi tan zam ji de mi pa tan zam hi tes ta te mi tan zam zo ne jere ji do yo ji nam kha tong sa ji tam ji la min chu ji me tu du pu ma ma cha cha xiar ji la so pa do yar me kon do yon khar to kangara Jarsan nadan tashi toji dorje lama chudu laso lagar ton romi chepr shonchi semba kondo zombi chope jeson rova ter gute eso namjan cherezo to kondo zombi choten se kondo zombi choten chesedna roni kondo zombo che helera tati tukani kondo zombo trom me pa trom yo kondo zombo reji tukani trom me pa trom yo kondo zombo ko nankar cha kondo zombi sa chap sonze Rere tuka wuze top de me patu. Wuze rere ke tsela, wuze rere ke tsela, metu, dupe, manma, tracha, yazi, romo, yarme kon zena chere zodo, yaryi kon, konzon yang mosere. Yankar zena chik yor kon kar, mandusana chok, chandrayana chik yankar tandra kon kar, namdo, shirdo, ser, ngundi trsons. Kongaraba zena chere zodo chik metok damrandanda. Chi shushuzu za tanda, tani jarsa na danse, lombo rumbochen, tancho rumbochen, mahwa rumbochen, tashi tau je, kolo, chiri zidon, kolo rumbochen zin, tani tino la se nya du toso, dorje lamo chuduk rononsu, ten rabu chiri zidon, chozi riri kandan la, karni tani, te rumo do che pandamo, naso tanda de, sonji do hyoncha samba la, person sonji te, yotir kandu zombi chopi jisun roba, turgute sonne turgute yanzi jansen kere sena deyo shonche samba kandu zombu tingen zanjan thali rongu tukani wuze kado mandawa hewa ja ton sonji ji hin tome per dardon nyamba tutese kere se de shonche samba kandu zombu tingen zanji toble tenzan gam mikpa ko tole rongu tukani wuze kado mandawa se kar se mar jong tenkala sopa ja tong chum bam hewa saya chong me pa dardo nyamba trutis samsang la kondo zombu tukani tu teda gu tukani buze hewa saya se anandana la chere to kondo zombu jingra wonda jingle ni na krong gu tukani buze saya bantom bon tene ti buze ri tsela thang gu chere to teda tsane buze ri tse yar yung shonche semba kondo zombo ronda wa tatanandwa ririte tereri tukani yung jerizo do mardon ndabu wuzi troshi sed ta kondo zombo pi nam ki karcha tanda tice kondo zombo terwa so trome samji machap par tru te do riri jom pod me pinchoji janando konde chepa meto dupel samji machap shochu jarwa sidon chipala chopa no papa kondo zombo chopa trompo hishawa te som 제레주도 텐라보테 하쫑그 야모 던지도 때 여트르 근초파레스 따드나라 조체슈테 운주리 근초파 드니 테 미텐조존이 여트르 근초파 드니 미고솔레스 now it's like the second chapter is the offering and this the seven branches first prostration. Now it's like we are going to the offerings. Offerings is like here is said set out as the many offerings as your resources permit. And this kind of the here is as was the explained in the chapter on the mandala offerings. And here is like kind of the many offerings as your resources permit, as much as according your. I said it's like all the times, maybe we need to accumulation merit. Normally, in order to make the like kind of the meritorious, like kind of the meritorious, the virtuous activities. And then it's meritorious to do. We have the true object or the field. One is the like kind of the periods and the like Buddha and Bodhisattvas and superiors. And also inferiors, we generosity. That didn't say Natula Sunam Kutsa the near Tusa King. Jiyar control the Sonji to Yonjasemba. Jigte Yimbatonsa, Mara Tumbo Nahunter. And the inferiors. Then is a Sunam Kutsa. It's like kind of the meritorious, maybe better to do a little bit. And normally, I want to take examples. Even you are healthy, and something to sometimes 2 times to check, sometimes 2 times to take some medicines, and like a vitamin, something like this. You need to a little bit to take care, more healthy. I mean, it's like just to say this. I didn't say in Tibetan, and according that, maybe you need to a little bit. Here is said, according that. Your resultant and permitted. Maybe you are rich, maybe you can to create altar is by gold, maybe silver, and also maybe by wood, and to make nice. Then in order to make the accumulation, there's the representative, the object, Buddha's body, Buddha's speech, Buddha's like kind of the mind. And this is like according to your the resources permit. Maybe one Buddha statues. Maybe you cannot buy the very expensive, or maybe it's like but there's some on this side, or maybe like this, like a normal. It's like kind of the any kind of the materials, and also sometimes I want to get information and like good. Sometimes you go to in Nepal, they are making business looks like statues. But really, like this, like this. You can't to see the looks really is like a eye or nose, and like this. You don't need to buy. And maybe you say it's like you are like kind of the pure minders. Okay, I don't care. I just Buddha statue I have, you are say happy, and then it's okay. That's no problem. Sometimes you look. This is the object of the faithful. You thinking it's Buddha, you look the statues. Maybe some error in the face and there's something, then you have inside doubts if something's coming. In this case, you can to buy one good statue. Maybe Buddha and Guru Rinpoche, any kind of, they are enlightened. And then they put this one. And then there's the representative of the heart, is stupa. And these days, stupa is big or small one. And then a representative speech, maybe you can to put one volume of the sutta or tanta, and like this. Maybe there's small, or maybe if you have Dharma books like this to put. And then the front there is, you have 7 the offering bowls. Like we normally we do is like 2 water, 2 like kind of the rice or barley. Normally I put as like kind of the precious sand, maybe better. And also then it's like a lamp. Lamp is also the enlightened, the how to say light. This kind of battery lamp is much better because the security of the fire. and then there is water, and then there is a true, like also the precious sand or the rice. Because as says, you keep a long time sand, the rice or barley, this is you can't, but sometimes insects is coming. And then it's like there's you put flour, incense, one is represented Dharma. This is like 7 offering bowls. Maybe you should do, or maybe you instead best doing, and maybe you have 2 7 bowl. One is like this, and then downstairs there's every day you need to put effort, like 7 offering bowls to put water. Morning you offered, and afternoon any times you need to take out water. And also this water is like you can to take from the tap water, because you paying water. And I'm not doing here, okay? Why? In my house, I'm not doing because I'm not paying for the Dharma city's water. Of course I can do. And also sometimes buy the mineral water, you do, and then after you take out, you can make tea. You can to put in the coffee machine. That's no problem. And then afternoon, best is 1 or 2 o'clock, you can to take out, and then to clean, to be ready tomorrow morning. And like this, you can every day to put like effort. And that is like kind of the accumulating, step by step. Maybe one day is like, for example, if you, 1 year, you have like the 360 days. And this, you offering like kind of the 360 times, it's how much accumulated. Someone's like kind of the accumulating offerings to take out, offering and take out. But you like kind of do every day like this, and then you can to bless most people like when you offered water to clean very nice this one, and then you need to learn how to like kind of to offering, and then it's that the lines direct. You put the water not too full, or the like water's overflowing, not good. It's not too low. It's exactly. Then after you put like kind of blessing, and you put one incense. Put incense. Take care to put in the front. There's big content to put, and then maybe you can do 1 minute, 2 minutes to pray to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. There's representative. May all the sentient beings to be free from the sufferings. May all this generate, but same times you also purified. And someone says, these activities for me boring. Yeah, it is a truth. But in this world, in our life, even we need to make the one coffee, how much we need to put effort. And like this is, we understood, I'm thirsty, I need to say. And if you do not acting, maybe you can't get coffee. And therefore, accumulation is to making the benefit for future life and lifetimes. Accumulation marriages sometimes result in this life. Someone's doing like this, and to getting better financially, getting better, many their perspective. Therefore, if you want to benefit, actually it's like, why Buddha, Bodhisattva, do they need the 100%? Their perspective, we just normal water to offer theirs. They're coming, oh, nice, we want. Never, ever, okay? No, sometimes we think it's like, maybe do they need it? In Tibet, sometimes it's like poor people and offering to lamas or the monks and the monasteries, needle, do you understand? Steam, it's like this. Someone's like, they're nothing, and give her the needle, like sewing needle. And they accepted. And because it's like this person's need to accumulations, and also this object. Sometimes you go to the monastery, also like 1 cent, 2 cents. And when they are like kind of making the chokes, maybe 1 biscuit to put there, 1 candle. And there's like kind of the beside, like a little bit doing. Life is getting better. And this kind of the accumulation merit is like you know, like a house drop. You know, in the ceiling, sometimes you drop water, you put under there's a big container, tuck, tuck, tuck. Maybe 1 month after this big container is full. It's like this. One day is impossible. Somewhere our Dharma practitioner says, oh yeah, now I haven't got time, now I'm got time. So, oh, and now I will go. One day we go, so now I'm in retreat. Like a kind of the car is like, some is a very old car, you want to fast, you put the power, so everything is here. They're like this, exactly. Some moment is maybe crash it, and like this. Like that, I'm just to say, so offerings. Your resources meet. And for example, these offerings bowls, if you have opportunities, maybe to create gold, buy the gold, or buy the silver, or iron, or like this. It's like all the time, it's, you know, someone's wood. It's like any kind of, according to your resource, the premise. And sometimes we say it's like, oh, gold statue, oh, silver statues. This is like too much. If someone has these opportunities, why not? Wonderful. And someone has no opportunities, no problems. For example, these mandalas, someone's they doing really is by gold, silver, copper, like this. For example, Patrul Rinpoche hasn't got anything. He picked the flat stone, and that is his mandala steps. And that is enough. And it doesn't matter. Someone has wooden, and like this. This is the kind of the resource, the preliminaries, as also the explained mandala this afternoon. And then it's like front of this your offerings. That is the saying, using clean and perfect lip to pure offerings. That you need it. Sometimes I saw some students myself. Session is like die up, you know, the van and this is okay. And almost you cannot fool again the second like sessions. Why? Because wine and alcohol become completely die, and this offering is kind of full. You take out, it's difficult to break. And you put water and completely forgot it, evaporated, in that the offering bowl is like there is, you know, the chemical reactions. And this kind of, like a kind of tax, you know, tax? Yeah, I'm Buddhist, I should to do it. But we don't need to do it. We just if we don't need any accumulation merit, of course we don't need to do like this. For example, I'm going to in the churches, I'm all the time is offering to the butter lamp. It doesn't matter. You are not like a Buddhist church, the temple, but church. There's some opportunities you have of offering. Why not? That they say they using clean and perfectly pure offerings, and without being insulated. Insulated is like insulated, coated, drops, kind of the mist lines. And also it's like a kind of the to holding by the mistlessness, or like kind of stinginess maybe. And like some people they say, why I need to do like this, and water's expensive, don't do that. And hypocrisy or the ostension is number, desire to impress the others. I think this is not like common English, ostensions. I never heard. This is like kind of the, like kind of show off, maybe like this. These offerings are the just the support for your like kind of consideration consideration is like kind of the physically touchable offerings, and that is your focal object of the offerings. And this is like normally we have like material offerings, and then it's like inner visualize, like kind of the emanating the by heart offerings. Then make a mental offerings in the manner of the Bodhisattva Samantha Bhattas. And this next more explanation how it is the Samantha Bhattas offerings. Like kind of the feeling the central wood and the whole of the space with all offerings of the human and the celestial dharmas. Then it's offering this like stuff is how much there is. Flower, incense, lamp, perfume, water, and also it's like nourishment, palace, and landscapes, mansions, pleasure, gardens, the 7 attributes of the royal, like this lombo rumbo, the elephant, horse, queen, these things. 8 auspicious, symbol with the 16 Vajra goddess, and dancing and singing. Each of playing our own, like particularly musical instrument. All this, whatever, like in these things, maybe you need to a little memorize them. Sometimes, like you want to offering mental emanating things. What I need to offer, what I need to make. It is the kundazum. And all the good, sometimes in the mental explanation, mental namshi nola, chopa ramba sanyola, chukun chopa, lonkun chopa, trukun chopa sa samyola. Pena trukun chopa ndachina, zonhi, yetayowa, number tapucha. Jerese chanchina, kandi yana yammochi, tanda posum sopachi. Tani cherejo dot zombun chopa, dot mazon punchopa, tani sejo. Pena dot mazon bzinachi, dozon con kumba yamo, garden yamo, or yatanda yona, teon cherejo do, jerong maritin chopa and pergana yon, sonam yank sonam tsozo wrong. Dofu mazon pag cherejo do sasha yamo, kumba yam to kumba, chemek the meto garden tanda dofu yons mazon sero. Tanizo de trukun chopa zonshi yumba. Longkun chopa te cherejo do tsoma zongen tachi tayong cherejo do pasan tsopatien. Ta trukun chopa ina zombo ngemba tsoma pagal. Kandere se jan dito la zombo se ya pagal. Ngemba remas mik yel kari tuyong na chopa per. Na yel tanzonge kande tuyong chopa per. Zuda turu resha cherejo do york di zugda turu rejan doyong kande zonge kande yon. Ne nasa chen dun gi on ya gawa shepa moshe mogam cherejo do nas tsoma chopa ta jiu tsoma chopa pachad tala cherejo do kondun chopa zinayon te ha chong yobo te cherejo do ngni hena chopa de pergze de ngui pon do tamchi ngni hena ma chong cha zabani ni yogo mare dekso. I'm just to say in the mental explanations. There's you have the 3 offerings, yes? What is the offerings? Look, that's right. Like the offering is like kind of the Dharmakaya's way, and the Sambhogakaya's way, and the Namanikaya's way. Namanikaya's like kind of mental offerings, all the time talking about the pure, clean, and good things talking. And it's the Namanikayas is like more like the great perfections, and like this, and the Sambhogakayas. And then this Dharmakaya offerings, everything, all the any kind of 5 object desirables, good, bad, sad, suffering, happy, unhappy, and coffee, even your coffee, everything, whatever you have, and just to offer. That is the more profound. Why? Because it's like all the phenomena are the permeated natural realities. And this is more profound, deep, fast to making the accumulation merit. Like this is like a kind of playing instrument, and also it's like by the power of this his meditations, and this is like kind of the Samantabhata, Bodhisattva Samantabhata, Bodhisattva Samantabhata, Bodhisattva Samantabhata. Samantabhata, there is like kind of the Pramodya Samantabhata. One is Bodhisattva Samantabhata. It is the writer of the Samantabhata's aspiration, Zombo Shupmanam. And this is the student of the Buddhas. And like this meditations. And of course, it's the Bodhisattvas, the Samantabhatas, how he like kind of the mentally making the manifestation offerings, like the power of his meditations, and how he does it, emanated the hundreds of the millions of multicolor light rays from the heart. He's like kind of our heart. Maybe we can think ourselves like the Bodhisattva Samantabhatas, as the multitudinous, as the particles of the just in the innumerable Buddha fields. And this uncalculable, imagine like kind of this kind of to raising the light, and also it's like kind of each light top of there is another Samantabhatas. And then this Samantabhata again rise. And each at the top of the light, as the beginning says, they offer things like flowers and the water and beautiful house, beautiful garden, beautiful landscape, and like kind of the 8 auspicious. Then you offer it to direction of the Buddhas, wherever dwells Bodhisattva's field. At the end of each may of the ray of the light, and he projected from the identical to the himself, looks like himself, also the emanating identity light rise from his heart. And here is like maybe we can to say from the Buddha, Bodhisattva Samantabhatas, the power of the meditations, he emanates light, each top of the light. Like I cannot to make a light emanation, but I can show you 10 fingers. Each of these fingers I make emanation one myself. You know, it's their finger, there is, I think it's 10, how much? Huh? Okay, this each 100, so each one has 10,000, yes? And then 1,000 is like this. And then this is like each finger's top of there is maybe it's like auspicious flowers, waters, and then they're the offering. Like this, rise to luminosity rising from his heart. And there's multitude, like kind of the uncalculable things. And then is you offer. This is mentally. If you do like this, such a benefit. You read the Buddhacharya Avatara Shantadevas, I think the 2nd chapter, yes? 2nd chapter, the Vipamas, 2nd chapter, talking only the mental like kind of the offerings. Because it's like he more emphasized mental offerings, because he's very poor, beggar, yogi, and material things he cannot do. But it's maybe mentally you offer things. Maybe you don't need to stinginess. You don't need to like kind of the sense of the losing. And first time is like mentally to exercise, very, very important. Then one day probably you can to offering, you can to make generosity. Not like kind of only your belonging, but maybe your body, maybe your like kind of faculties. And some Bodhisattvas, they offering like gift or offering like this. And this sort of, then is this kind of, you are the powerful person, Bodhisattva, is like kind of the doing the benefit. This like kind of you going to become the fearless. And like kind of the fearless means, and you maybe is like kind of your body, your belonging. Everything, you see, there's no sense of the stinginess. You just to benefit for offerings. And one is like kind of the history. Probably you heard. I just to in Tibet to say like this. Then there was Hyongchu Sempa Tekatan, Samchila, Hyongchu Sempa, Semtu Chimbote, Rongo Lu, Jereju the Longshu, Kari, you put the Sanchen Tunla, Gandachiso Tong Gunna, must don't message. Then Payola, Jereju the Loju, Tomo Lujan said, Silk Nola Yuri. Then Jereju the Jerwotilla Puniga, Punya Ringo, Timotin, the Ringo. Then the Ringolia do the top amachi, the top amatilla pukahio, top amati sergeant menita, Kandachi Dakahi Kanina, that panchara and runi by Shishizons. Then he put you at the top amatis, soup chetal, Takandizorg, ni Sanche Yambaji Sydney, the top de la Hanana, Sanche Segon. Then Sergeant Chetal Yenimu, telling Arun Lupo the young on the Yoshu Reason. Gone, then Ringol, Chitana Kuni Truzini, Tangani man, Jok Sunjotas, Chanola Sitek Tas. Then no nature is the Abad Amazon Kandi, Tapuni Canandos in Nasdem. That race a chokan to take Corona te charge the your Kotosan, Nandilum, Choron, Dinon Masons. Tangan such a non Hundazena, Pet on Tomboyan, Tenny Gentila Trojan says, oh yes. Then you point a chingam, Lamson. Harsiman Combanon Dazzle. Then it chungama ma do your takon, you take it till I'm about illusion sounds. Then he ma do your Tom Hasula Sony. Then he called Malon Jan, that you would lose it so. Then it should lose the Satsa do Chotogo, John Rogo, Tiana, Chotaru Compotondo, Hoso. Then Tom Hasula ma did thought it pa, just a tone sa matter they did. Then he called Gulupula, Shink, Mazun, torches of town. Tomo taken jet, then it is the top take Susan. Soon do the Amati Gomo Malam Kinsa, meaning it put you at the G and Roger some the Lamson put you at the Nola Lebdi Chupayakana, you said. Konya attended to St. Joseph. Tayo Matis, Amatic, Talayo Matis on the then you could young Colombo on the Canayan and Mish Santaro Yonjumon. Then you on to the Tenitoyo Sala, said, then it is a shanda do Rikin and Torti do it. Yonna did talk to Osaka Lomba the P. Joke sent some Jim Mashapur Yansan Tonsan Mumbo said, then Amati Nipun Chuati Teti Mandavachian, Tati Tetans, Tetla, Tomu Lujan said, Choten Tenor. I'm just to tell you about one Bodhisattva in Nepal. Many of you visited, there is one stupa called the Bodhi to give Tiger. His name is the Tomu Lujan. This history is. One is in Nepal, there's one rich family, I don't know, king or something, and they have two sons, and then there's two sons, they want to in the mountain like the forest, and then the way in the climb to the mountain, and they saw like one female tiger. Female tiger is they couldn't get food monthly, and she is like kind of shaking, is dying. And also she has some few like kind of the tiger cub or like a puppy. And then is the young son says, oh, now what can I do? I need to do help to this tiger. If I'm killed to the other, maybe deer or pork or something, if I'm a gift, and as also I'm making harm to other sentient beings. What can I do? He's thinking, oh, better I want to give my body. And then they went in the top of the mountain, and then he wanted to make it tricky to his brother, and to say, let's make a game. Now we need to go back, as you go to this way, and I will go to. So who is first to arrive at home, and that is the winner. Is like this. And then he said, make it tricky. You go this way, a little bit like dangerous because you are old. This way. This is I will go, because he think that there is the tiger. And then they run, and that night the mother has very, very strange dreams. And she all worried, and then my two sons went. And then suddenly it's come back the old son. And then his mother said, "Where's your young brothers?" We are like kind of to make the game, and he's the other side. And then mother said, my young son, something happened. Then it's like she said, "I need to search. Where is he? He's not yet coming. Maybe waiting. And then certainly in this tiger valleys, like good, very nice science, a rainbow, something happened. Then she's very much like kind of the sad, and she said, "My young son, something happened." Then they run and they're searching, and then it's like they meet tiger. Tigers a little survive, but then they saw the clothes like this. Then already tiger. This is the Bodhisattva. One is like emanation of the Buddha. Sometimes this kind of Bodhisattvas, there is no kind of the strangeness or something. Don't do that, okay? No, you wanted to do. I'm afraid. So sometimes I'm going to the street, okay, and they said there is like one hungry tiger, one beggars like putting the heart or something, and the liar. When some students I'm going with, to in the street, and there's not much clothes, I was scaring, maybe better could do them. Our students very much compassion, take out, clothes and to give, and then naked is going to on the street is. Big joke, okay, and this come up, and Tsampa come up. He's so humor and amazing humor, sir. And his period some come up as students. And they're together in America, and then they say that really, come up, really, I want to follow. You are my teacher. Your periods, yeah. And then it's like really they talk about Kajes, Marwa, Malaha, like this, Telo and Naro. And then he make joke, And one is periods come up as very much faithful. And he's asked to me, it's like to be his teacher. And then he was in New York or something, very high bedding. And then it's like we went to top of there. And then I say, very high. I think it's like the Telo told to narrow, it's like to jump this kind of buildings. And then it's going to come up and make joke. I was very scared because this student is looking something again. Maybe this one jump. And then he said, I quietly went, but luckily he didn't jump. Make joke, there's okay, no? It's like when you go to this forest, maybe you met like some angry raccoon. Don't give your body, okay? And each of these light rays to turn appear even more samathabhatas, and so continue in the infinite progression. What this? Can you read? Progression. Okay.
Progression.
Progression. Okay. Progression. Truth is progression until the number of the form manifested was utterly inconceivable, inconceivable, and each of this was offering to the Buddhas, and the Bodhisattva of the 10 directions, wherever Buddha and Bodhisattvas, like a kind of the 10 directions, innumerable offering of the infinite varieties of the things. And that is the called number Samantha Butters, like a kind of the cloud bank of the offerings. And cloud and banks is like two, how do you say it? It's like the gigantic like kind of the cloud and offering. Size of the cloud banks, yes? You say the cloud bank. Okay, I think it's rest. You are tired. I'm telling to you very bizarre things. Tired, exhausted. Yes, you give when you come back then. Okay, like this. Can you take coffee? I need really coffee. Where is Louisa? Can you order to the Louisa? Tell to Louisa. Bring black coffee. Asen.
I will send the contract, the signed thing to the notary, but